Okay, so this is going to sound a bit crazy, but I want to tell you why God should not be your top priority in the Christian life. And it's because there's a much better, richer, and more life-giving approach. Hey, I'm Luke, and like most Christians I know, I used to walk around just constantly weighed down and even crushed by the weight of everything I had to get done. Like I lived with a never-ending to-do list hanging around my neck. And my relationship with Jesus was so important, but it often felt like just another thing on that list that I had to make sure and maintain. Even if it was at the top of the list and the priority on that list, it also often felt disconnected from the rest of the list. Recognizing this, I had a mentor who at one point encouraged me to think of my relationship with God in a different way. He said, think of it as being at the center of all that I am, rather than as being at the top or even my first priority. And honestly, it's pretty wild how big a difference a small change in thinking like this made for me and could make for you. See, if God is at the top of the list, not only are the things closer to the bottom of the list things that I may neglect in my own formation, but they're things that I potentially fail to approach in light of my faith. I never let God touch them when He's at the top of the list because they're so far down. They're below the waterline of the Christian life, so to speak. But when God is at the center, and my relationships and my finances and my exercise and my eating and my rest and my work, my imagination, my hobbies, my friendships, all have a more direct integration with my faith. It's a game-changing paradigm shift because it's possible to stop looking at life as a disconnected, never-finished to-do list and instead conceive of yourself as a whole person with every aspect of your being integrated and affected and motivated by your faith. What's crazy is that as you live life this way more and more with Christ at the center, you find that instead of your problems weighing heavily on you, you'll see them as burdens that Christ is intimately aware of and willing to bear. And the fears and anxieties will be replaced by resting and abiding in Him. But don't just take my word for it. Seriously, try it out. Take a few moments to think about what it would look like to place Jesus at the center of your world. Even write down your to-do list and then write it again in a circular graph with Him at the center. What would it look like for Jesus to be connected to everything you do and are? I'm telling you, this has the potential to make a massive difference in your walk with Jesus. If you want help thinking about your life in this way, then stick around. Consider subscribing if you haven't, because I have so much more to share with you about this and other topics in the Christian life.